Android developer, and I'm here to go through all the Codelabs that Google provide, and I'm gonna start from the basic, which is Android Kotlin fundamental course. And it has 10 pathway, and it has like the layout and navigation and activity fragment and architecture and database like recycler view and network and repository and design and etc. Something like that. Build your first app and build an interactive app. Layout, navigation, activity and fragment, something like that. And next one is installing Android Studio. Just follow this download page and install. Download this and then install Android Studio if you don't have it on your computer. So next one is I don't know. Let's just follow it. So we will learn how to build a basic Android app in Android Studio, how to create an Android project from a template, how to find the major components of an Android project, how to run an Android app on an emulator or physical device. So, and we'll do create a new Android project and a default app called Hello World, and create an emulator of virtual device so you can run your app on your computer. Third, run the Hello World app on virtual and physical devices, explore the project layout, explore the Android manifest.xml file. App overview. The Hello app displays the string Hello World on the screen of an Android virtual device or physical device. Here's what the app looks like. Okay. In this task, you create a new app project to verify that Android Studio is correctly installed. Open Android Studio if it is not already opened. In the main Welcome to Android Studio dialog, click Start a new Android Studio project. Android Studio. In new project. Let's create empty activity. Hello world. Hello world. Quickly. And then, okay, I created empty activity and hello world. Okay. And doesn't matter. Okay, go next. And then explore the project pane. Okay, there is project, and in the pane there's Android. Step 2, explore the app folder. Okay, project Android, and there's manifest, Java, and package names, and there's main activity file. Okay, and step 3, explore the REST folder. Okay, and there's manifest and Java and REST has durable layout and activity main.xml. So REST stand for it means resource. So there's like image, it can have image files and the screen layout code in XML. And okay, and step 4, explore the manifest folder and Android manifest.xml. Okay, XML. The manifest file looks like this. Let's see, manifest, and it looks like this, and this part is here. Okay, and note that intended filter elements inside activity. Yeah, and the action and category element in this intent filter. Tell Android where to start the app when the user clicks the launcher icon. Okay, when you click the launcher icon, and it checks manifest, and this will the activity that has this will launch it first. Activity means it's kind of screen that, but you can write code there. So activity is the basic component when you develop Android app. So here, when you click the launcher icon, it will launch main activity first. Yeah. And fifth task, explore the grade scripts for the, okay, there's app, but also there's grade scripts. Gradle is you need it when you build the project. Like it can manage the plugins and dependencies, and it also gives a lot of features for building, and also I don't know about Gradle exactly, but it uses Gradle build system. And sixth task, run your app on a virtual device. Okay, step 1, create an Android virtual device. Okay, you create it from Truth AVD Manager, and tools, AVD manager. I don't have AVD manager, but device manager, and I already have a lot. If you don't have, you need to do this. Select the device, like the size and the height and width size, and also the density. Yeah, the screen size and the pixel size. And you need to select the OS. And step 2, run the app on the virtual device. Okay, run it. I will choose this. And here you go. What is this? I think this is not what I wanted. I think it's an old project that I try to test. It's installing and launching, so it shows hello world. Here, let's just check the rest and layout. Activity main XML. If you click the split, and you can see the XML code and also the preview of this XML. So here, hello world, hello you, and it will display hello you. Something like that. Remove. Clear. So if you see the main activity, it uses this XML like this. R stands for resource, and this is called R class. When you build, it will index all the resources, and then we can access like this R dot layout and the XML file name, and R dot drawable, and I see something like that, but this isn't for the layout, so this is correct way. Next, quick. 7. Test. Run your app on a device. Run your app on a physical device. Okay, it was emulator, and now physical device. Your phone. It means your phone. Step 1. Turn on USB debugging. Yeah. Okay. I cannot show you my phone, but if you go setting and maybe system and maybe no back system. System? No? About phone. About phone. About emulated device. And your maybe on the real device about phone will be displayed, and phone name, phone number, and in Android version. I think this Android version. Okay. Kernel version. Build number, yeah. Build number. No. Kernel version? No. Okay. Build number. This one. If you keep clicking, and you are now a developer. And system. And developer options will be displayed now. And there's a lot of features that you can menu manufacture? No. Manipulate. Okay. Manipulate. You can manipulate. For example, stay awake. You can make your phone keep wake up while charging, and also here we are for turn on the USB debugging, because when you connect your phone to your laptop with the USB cable, then it will detect your phone, and the Android Studio will be able to build the project, and it will install the app on your device and launch your app on your device. For example, here see here, now it's emulator, but now I'm connecting my phone and it detects, and now it shows my phone name here. So if I run build, and it installs and launch activity, and my phone displays now hello you. Okay, good. If you see this, you better check here, and okay, because you will keep notify this dialog, and it's annoying. Yeah. So next, and coding challenge. Now that you are set up and familiar with the basic development workflow, do the following. 1. First, create a new project in Android Studio. Change the hello world getting to happy birthday to happy birthday to, and the name of someone with a recent birthday. Recently I don't have friends, so Ghost. Okay, so it displays hello birthday to Ghost. So my challenge is completed. Summary. To install Android Studio, okay. To see an app's Android hierarchy in the project pane, click project tab. Yeah, when you need to add new dependencies to your project or change dependency versions, edit the build grader. Yeah, all code and resources for an app are located within the app and REST folders. The Java folder includes activities, tests, and other components including to add the features, components, and permissions to your Android app, edit manifest. Yes. To create an Android virtual device to run your app, use the AVD manager. AVD manager. It was device manager. To run your app on a physical Android device using Android Studio enable, use debugging on the device. To do this, open setting about phone and tap build number 7 times, then open setting, develop options, and select USB debugging. Yes. Funny. Learn more. Yes. What is this? What is this? What is this? Okay, later. Homework. A lot more. Documentation, release notes, meet Android great. Device. I'm not interested in homework. I don't like homework. Build and run an app. Then rest strings file and change the version of name string. My dice roller. The name appear in the title bar. Create an emulator for a device targeting any version of Android you like and run the app. Note how the title of the app changed. Note how the title of the app changed. Check to make sure the app has following. XML strings, name, hello world, 2, my dice roller, and you will change my dice roller. I see. Hello world on the display. Hello world. Like this. Okay. Yay, I got completed 5 plus something. Next Codelab. Start. Next lesson. Anatomy of Basic Android project. Android Kotlin fundamentals. Anatomy of Basic Android project. Welcome. The Codelab is part of the Android Kotlin fundamentals course. You will get most value out of this course if you work through the Codelab in sequence. All the course Codelabs are listed on something introduction. Thus far you've got set everything up, and Android Studio has created a lot of code for you. Before you modify all the code, it's important to know what you just created and how to navigate the source files of Android app. In this Codelab, you learn more about the major components of an Android app and add a simple interactivity to an app with a button. What you should already know: how to install and open Android Studio, how to create a new app project. We know. What you learn: how to edit the app's layout file, how to create an app with interactive behavior, a lot of new terminology. It means words, right? Terminology. Yes. Check out vocabulary glossaries for friendly explanation of terms and concepts. So many. Pass. What you'll do: explore the main activity controlling file and the activities layer file. Edit the edit button. Okay. The topic is button. Overview. There's more button. Okay. That's three. Let's explore the activity and layer files. Okay, it's duplicate. Notice the onCreate methods activity do not use a constructor to initialize the object. Instead, a series of predefined methods called life cycle method are called as part of the activity setup. One of those life cycle methods is onCreate, which you always override in your own app. To learn more about the lifecycle method in later Codelab, okay. AppCompat activity is a subclass of activity that supports all modern Android features while providing backwards compatibility with older versions of Android. So compat, I think compatible, AppCompat activity. So we always need to use AppCompat to make your app available to the largest number of devices and users possible. Always use AppCompat activity. Okay, thank you. Oh, we check this. Set content view method does both. The set content view method references the layout using r.layer.activity main, which is actually an integer reference. The R class is generated when you build your app. The R class includes all the app's assets, including the contents of the rest directory. In this case, r.layout.activityMain refers to the generated R class. The layout folder and the activityMain.xml layout file resources do not include file extensions. No extensions. Yes, no extension here. Right? You will refer to many of the app's resources, images, strings, and elements within the layout file, using similar references in the R class. Step 2. Examine and explore the app layout file. All the activities in your app have an associated layout file in the app's rest layout directory. A layout file is an XML file that expresses what an activity actually looks like. A layout file does this by defining views and defining where the views appear on the screen. Views are things like text, images, and buttons that extend the view class. There are many types of views, including text view, button, image view, and checkbox. In this task, you examine and modify the app layer file. In the project under pane, expand REST layout and double-click activity main. Pass. For task, other button. Let's other button. Let's other button. Let's other button. Let's other button. Button. But we need to use app compat button for backwards compatibility. Yes. Right. And I want to add text here. This is button. But why is here? Because we need to also add some position attributes. Here, if you see this code, cunning, yeah, and but it's covered because it's like constraint, right? Bottom. These lines shows the constraint, so bottom. This view's bottom should be attached to this view's this view's top should be under this view's bottom to look like this, right? So top should be bottom of this view. But this view, how can we designate the view? We use ID hello world. So I named it TV hello world. So I need to use TV hello world. Then top and this is because this parent. No, we don't need this. Then it doesn't have the bottom constraint, but it attached to the bottom of hello world like this. Okay, here, how can we access this button? So we can also give its name like this button. And now we can access like this. We use find view by ID. So what it was a button, and its name was button like this. This will get the button we created, and we can create a class like this. And then you can give an event like this, click event. That's it. And have you heard of toast message? This is the toast message is a message that displays on the phone and it disappears like within 2 seconds or something like that. So let's run and see how it is. So click, and there's button clicked, toast message. Yeah, that's it. So let me copy and paste to roll button. This naming is not good. Let's change it like this. Roll button roll. So now it's accessible. And roll dice, I don't have roll dice. Let's create roll dice function. True. So we created roll dice method and then it's the same result. So next, quickly task, change the text, change the text. We are able to access the button with this method, and and we accessed the button, but now we can access also the text view like this. Text view text view UI text view TV ID TV hello world. Let's change it the name. Display the matching name makes less confusion, so I change this too. I don't know what's gonna be, but like this. So roll dice. Instead of this message, we can change the text like this. Let's run and see. Ta-da. Okay. Now it says like this. So let's give an event like this, and it will change to dice rolled, and also the button collectors message will appear. See, and then step 2, display a random number. Here is the random number. So random int, okay, random int, text random int. Sorry, since it has only one time or only once each card, so the random int will be fixed. But if I put it here, whenever I click it, then it will generate get the random number from 1 to 6. And see, it changes like that. The size is so small, so let's make it bigger. So like this. And now the solution code. Let's see the solution code. It's the same thing. We can move this here like that. It's the same thing, right? So next, coding challenge. Add a second button to the app labeled count up that appears just below the roll button. When tapped, the count up button should get the current value of the richer text view. Add 1 to it and update the text view. Make sure you handle this edge cases. If the richer text view does not yet contain a number, that is if the text view still has the default hello world string, set the richer text to 1. If the number is already 6, do nothing. When tapped, the counter button should get the current value of the richer text. I don't get it. I think it's just counting 1 to 6. So let's just do it. Count up. Hello world should be hello world. But this is below the butler. And let's see, it's count up and button count up, and when we click it, it should count, but let's get the text first, to the string, and if text I don't know. I think we don't need to get like text is number is okay. If it's hello world, then count up should be 1, else integer parse int text. So complicated, but it means if the text has hello world and then just change it to 1, and otherwise it as 1 from the previous value. This one is changing text to the integer number to make it addable, because string cannot add. So let's see. Oh, it crashes. What is the problem? What is the problem? It was not hello world, but hello world. Now it works. Not counting, but when it's 6, it should not be changes, right? So it's 6. Then if it's 6, do nothing. Okay, no. 6 and do nothing. Yeah. Let's check if it's correct. It's a similar. It's similar. In summary, activities. Main activity is a subclass of compat. 몰라. I don't know. Pass. It's just simple. Pass. Simple. This section is possible homework assignment for students who are working through this Codelab as part of a course led by an instructor. It's up to the instructor to do the following. Reset is easy. Reset is easy. Reset is easy. Let's create a reset button. Reset. And then I need to change it like this. And when I click this button, reset. view by button. Button reset. And then we need to reset. I want to set to hello world again. Two, three, four, five, six, and then reset hello world, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and reset. Here it can be confusing. I mean, I can have like typo here, and it will cause some error later. So in this case, it would be better to use string value here. Pass. In next lesson, images, resources, and compatibility. Android Kotlin fundamentals: images, resources, and compatibility. Images? What we will learn: how to add files to your app's resources, how to use images in your app's layout, how to find views more efficiently in your app's code, and how to use placeholder images in your app's design with XML namespaces, about Android API labels for your app, and how to understand the minimum targeted and compiled API level. How to use the JPEG libraries in your app. It's too much. Okay, we learn resources and images. We use resources, image resources, right? Image resources, price order images. Okay, we learn about images, how to deal with the images in our project. Modify the device roller app from the last Codelab to include images to for the device value rather than a number. We use the 1 to 6, but not the number, but images. Add image files to your app's resources, update the app's layout, and code to use images for the device value rather than a number. Update your code to find views more efficiently. Update your code to use an empty image when the app starts. Update your app to use the Android JPEG libraries for backwards compatibility with older versions of Android. So we use images like this. In this Codelab, you build on the device roller app you started in the previous Codelab, and you add device images that change when the device rolled. The final dice roll app looks like this. If you did not work through that last Codelab, you can download the starting app here. Well, I don't like the last Codelab, but I just copy and paste. I don't want to do that. Three, task add and update image resources. We need the images. Where it is? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here is it. It is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Download. How can I download it? How can I download it? How can I download it? Computer. Yeah. I'm downloading it. I'm downloading it. I'm downloading it. Now copy and paste to. I'm copy and paste to. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. Okay. I got it. I got it. I got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. So let's delete it. Now we need image, but we need to use compact image view, not this one, because backward compatibility. Wrap. Start, parent, end, parent, top, I don't know, parent, and then when we get the resource, we use like this. We use empty dice. Bottom. Parents. I want it to be the center, and let's give it a name. Image view. Dice. Top, bottom. All dice. And here's trick to set the default. It doesn't apply to the real app, but it's only visible in the XML preview. So I will set it other one to make it visible like this. I don't need this one. I don't need this one. I don't need this one. I just need this one, but not count a row. It's a row. Row. So what I'll do that by myself. I think I can have like array, like int array of r.drawable dice 1. 4, 5, 6. Yeah, too long, so I do like this. And then we need image view. Alright, image view dies, and then set I use the background, but I don't know how to change the source. I'll just use background and double, and the random int will be changed every time when it rolls, so already device. Random int but -1 because this is from 0 to 5, but this start 1 and 6. So I think it will work like this. Right, I did it. Oh, this is similar. So set image resource. Set image resource. It is the source. I didn't know that. So set image resource. Set image resource. Okay, I can use set image resource. Find views efficiently. What? Everything in your app works, but there is more to developing apps than just having code that works. You should also understand how to write performant, well-behaving apps. This means your apps should run well, even if your user doesn't have the most expensive Android device or the best network connectivity. Your apps should also continue to run smoothly as you add more features. And your code should be readable and well organized. In this task, you learn about one way to make your app more efficient. Here, whenever you click the button, every time it gets another reference to this image view. That's the problem. Ideally, you should minimize the number of the calls to find view by ID, because the Android system is searching the entire view hierarchy each time, and that's an expensive operation. So find view by ID is a very, very expensive operation. In a small app like this one, it's not a huge problem. If you are running a more complicated app on a slower phone, Continually calling find view by ID could cause your app to lag. Instead, it is a best practice to just call view find view ID once and store the view object in the field. Keeping the reference to the image view in a field also allows the system to access the view directly at any time, which improves the performance. Ideally, you'd initialize this variable up here when it's declared only in a constructor, but Android activities don't use constructors. In fact, the views in the layout are not accessible objects in memory at all until after they have been inflated in the onCreate method by the call the set content view. You can't initialize the dice image variable at all until that happens. Okay, I don't get it, so I read again. Ideally, you would initialize this variable up here when it's declared. Or in a constructor, but Android activities don't use constructors. Yeah, it doesn't have constructors. In fact, the views in the layout are not accessible objects in memory. The views in the layout are not accessible objects in the memory at all until after they have been inflated in the onCreate method. So before onCreate, it cannot access the views. So like after calling set content view, so we can access the views right after from set content view. One option is to define the device image variable as nullable, as in this example. So set it to null when it's declared, and then assign it to the real image view in onCreate with find view ID. This will complicate your code, however, because now you have to check for the null value every time you want to use dice image. There is a better way. Change the dice image declaration to use the late init keyword and remove the null assignment. The late init keyword promises the Kotlin compiler that the variable will be initialized before the code calls any operations on it. Therefore, we don't need to initialize the variable to null here, and we can treat it as a non-nullable variable when we use it. It is a best practice to use late init with fields that hold views in just this way. Delete the old line in raw device that declares and gets the image view. You replaced this line with the field declaration earlier. So it means it should run only once, because find view by ID is very expensive. Very expensive. Very expensive. So after set content view, I need to set it only once, not twice. like this, like this, like this. It's a button, image view, image view. So it will record only once. It's a more efficient way. You should defer to image. It's just the same thing. Test, understand API levels and compatibility. One of the great things about developing for Android is the sheer number of devices your code can run on. From the Nexus 1 to the Pixel to form factors like tablets to Pixel books to watches, TVs, and cars. When you write for Android, you don't write completely separate apps for each of these different devices. Even apps that run on radically different form factors such as watches and TVs can share code, but there are still constraints and compatibility strategies that you need to be aware of to support all of these. In this task, you learn how to target your app for specific Android API levels and how to use the Android JPEG libraries to support order for devices. Step 1. Explore API levels. In this previous Codelab, when you create your project, you indicated the specific Android API level that your app should support. The Android OS has different version numbers named after tasty treats, which are in alphabetical order. Each OS version ships with new features and functionality. For example, Android Oreo shipped with support for picture-in-picture apps, while Android Pie introduced slices. The API levels correspond to the Android versions. For example, API 19 corresponds to Android 4.4. Picture in pictures. What is it? What is it? Like this. Like this. Picture in pictures. And what is slices? I don't know slices. Slices are UI templates that can display rich, dynamic, and interactive content from your app from within the Google search app and also in other places like the Google Assistant. Slices can help users perform tasks faster by enabling engagement. Outside of the full screen app experience, we can build slices as enhancement to app actions. Support for slices is built into Android Jetpack and can extend all the way back to Android 4.4, reaching approximately 95% of the Android users. Check out the Getting Started guide building slices today. What is slice? I don't know. Let's install this. I don't know what it is. No. Copy. Paste. Slices Android. GitHub. User interface samples. Here will be release. Samples. Release. 네. Okay, let's install this. Installed. Huh. I don't know what it is. I think slice is slice. Okay, this SDK version and many version, min version, target version thing, compatibility. What? I didn't know this. I didn't know this. But so use support library. Vector drawables use support library. The good news is that there is an Android X compatible library for vector drawables, all the way back to what is this? I don't think PNG becomes a vector image. So what does it mean? So source compat is for vector drawables. Interesting. I really didn't know that. Android Studio includes a tool called Vector Asset Studio that helps you add material icons and import scalable vector graphic. And Adobe Photoshop document files, PSD files, into your project as a vector drawable resources. Using vector drawables instead of bitmap reduces the size of your APK because the same file can be resized for different screen densities without loss of image quality. For all the versions of Android that don't support vector drawables, Vector Asset Studio can, at build time, turn your vector drawables into different bitmap sizes for each screen density. About Vector Asset Studio adds a vector graphic to the project as an XML file that describes an image Maintaining one XML file can be easier than updating multiple raster graphics at various resolutions. Android 4.4 API level 20 and lower doesn't support vector durables. If your minimum API level is set at one of these API levels, you have two options when using Vector Asset Studio: generate portable network graphic PNG files, the default, or use the support library. You have two options when using Vector Asset Studio: generate portable network. So for older versions, vector images are not supported, so it should be converted to PNG, right? Or use vector support library. For backward compatibility, Vector Asset Studio generates raster images of the vector durable. Yes, that's what I meant. The vector and raster durables are packed together in the APK. So vector images and raster images are packed together in the APK. You can refer to vector durables as durable in Java code or durable in XML code. So the file is accessible within the Java code or Kotlin code, or it's also accessible in the XML code with the durable, and in the Java code are durable dot something. The corresponding vector or raster image is displayed automatically depending on the API level. So depending on the API level, it chooses the raster image or the vector image. If you want to use vector durables only, you can use under support library 23.2 or higher Android support library. This technique requires a change to your file before you run Vector Asset Studio. As described in support library backward compatibility, the vector durable compat class in the support library allows you to support vector durable in Android 2.1 and higher. So after 4.4, we don't need to any setting, because all the API levels higher than 4.4 or API level 20, it supports vector. So in my case, the minimum SDK level is always like 21 or 24, so I don't think I need it. Supported vector graphic types. Oh my god, it's a lot. It's a lot, but is it a lot? Okay, I think I know those. I didn't know PSD files is usable in the Android Studio. I know SVG is can be converted to XML file in the Android Studio. I think the tool name is Vector Asset Studio. So the Vector Asset Studio files, okay. So let's say I need to choose the file. Then we need to consider a vector drawable is appropriate for simple icons. Yes, the motor icons provide good example of the types of images that works as well as vector drawable in an app. In contrast, many app launch icons do have many details, so they work better as raster images. The initial loading of a vector drawable can cost more GPU cycles than a corresponding raster image. Afterwards, memory use and performance are similar between the two. We recommend that you limit a vector image to a maximum of 200 by 200 dp, otherwise it can take too long to draw. So 220 and 200 by 200 dp is a big. Although vector drawable to support one or more colors, in many cases it makes sense to color icons black. Using this approach, you can add tint to the vector drawable that you place in a layout. And the icon color changes to the tint color. If the icon color isn't black, the icon color might instead blend with the tint color. So when we use the vector image, it should be less than 200 by 200 dp, and also it should set to black. Okay, but PSD, is it raster image file? No, it's a vector image, but I don't know. Backward compatibility solution. From 521. If your app has minimized the lower vector studios for also at real time gratified to PNG raster images at various resolutions, creator generate the PNG identities specified by the domain. Yeah, this is SS Studio as a vector SS Studio. So if you there's PSD. So it's black. PSD and black. So back to the Codelab. I don't need it. Who will use Android 4.4, guy? challenge: modify the dice roller app to have two dice. When the user taps button, each dice should have a valid method. Oh, two dice. When the user taps the roll button, each dice should have a value independent of the other. Okay. Two. Good. And it's not reset, it's roll. I just want to have one roll button and two dice like this, and start of parent top and then and no end, no start. Then it will show two like this, and then I have one dice and I have two dice. And then so maybe well, I don't want this. I just want like this. Then roll. It will show different dice value. Let's see how he did it. I don't know. I think he did it like this. Question. Which image view contribute indicate a source image that should be used only in Android Studio? On this one. Which method changes the image for Kotlin code? Said image resource. I didn't know this, but yes. What does the late init keyword in a variable declaration indicate in the Kotlin code? Later. I promise, yes, this is the right one. Which greater configuration indicate the most recent API level your app has been tested with? If you indicate the most recent API level, your level, the most recent tested with. Test? I don't know. I never seen this. For test. I think the height level that is means target SDK version. You see an important line in your code that starts with Android X. What does it mean? It means it's compatible, backward compatible. Let's follow Android Japan library. See, yes. This class is an external library that will load it when you run. No, extra optional your class. Kind of. Submit your grading. 10 out of 10. Run to have yourself. Where to find command deeply information resource. How to change the launch icon in app. How to look for help. You're building Android using control. Interesting. An overview in this Codelab, you learn about template samples, documentation, and other resources that are available for Kotlin Android developers. First, you create a simple app from an Android Studio template and modify the app. Then you download and export Android Sunflower sample app. You replace the sample app's launcher icon with a clip art image asset available within Android Studio. We know it. Use the empty activity and basic and activity template to start new project. You can also use activity templates when creating activity after your project has been created. Template. Activity template, for example, navigate drop activity to let me open this Sunflower app. So let me open the Sunflower app. Sunflower app is Sunflower. Yeah. It's so slow. Why is it so slow? Yeah, it's so big. It's so big. Guys, just download it and try to just try to run the sunflower project on your device and just check the files. Design. Quality. Material design is just Google design. You don't need to follow each design if you have other design how to say design. If you don't want to follow this material design, then you don't need to follow. just simple thing. Menus, overview. It's done. Let me run. I think Sunflower, the project is updated. 4 days. I think it keep updating because when I first saw this, it was not that big. I mean, it didn't have compose and flow. I think it has flow here. Let's see. And also work manager was not there. I think it's from work manager. Worker. Coroutine worker. Yeah, it didn't have coroutine stuff. It's got almost everything that we need, like retrofit and room database and coroutine and the health library and adapters and custom view, fragment and activity. I think I need to study. I think again. I think it keep updating, so I think this project is very interesting. So it's almost 6 p.m. now, and I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop the recording, and I will have dinner and then come back for the next Codelabs.